Hi guys, welcome back to another Bourbon Santa video. I'm just busy here in my workshop packing up some toys for all the good boys and girls out there. I guess boys and girls like olive oil. That's weird. Anyway, the reason we're here today is to talk about Belle Meade. We're going to talk about the Belle Meade Cask Strength Reserve Bourbon. If you have an older label Belle Meade Cask Strength Bourbon, it looks like this. It says right in the middle of it, Cask Strength, and it'll have the batch number, the percentage point, the proof point, and the bottle number right across on the little banner. I was in ABC Liquor yesterday, and I saw this. Belle Meade Reserve Bourbon, no longer says Cask Strength, and in place of the Cask Strength on the little barrel there on the label, it just has the new proof, which is 108.3. Which tells me that this is no longer a Cask Strength product. They wouldn't have removed Cask Strength from the label. This is a full proof product now. They're probably proofing it down to the barrel entry point of their new distillate. And so they're getting a much bigger batch, and it'll be more consistent all the way across the product when it goes out to the consumers. So I'm not thrilled about that. I prefer, the individualization of little batches and actually having the full Cask Strength whiskey. So I figured I would grab this bottle, compare it to my bottle of the older style Cask Strength, and see if this is a great idea that they had or see if this is a terrible idea. Let's find out. So, we got Cask Strength, and we got basically a full proof. This is the full proof, and this is the Cask Strength. We'll start with their new product. Now, I will tell you, this new Reserve Bourbon smells wonderful. It smells absolutely wonderful. Which, I would expect it to smell wonderful. I don't think I've had a Belle Meade product that I didn't like. It's grainy and bready, and a lot of honey, a lot of caramel, the slightest hint of cinnamon. Tiny little amount of rye grain, rye malt. Cinnamon shows up much more on the flavor. And on the flavor, it's got a nice, really oily, really viscous mouthfeel. It's wonderful. That's great. That's good. That's fantastic. If I've never had a Cask Strength Belle Meade before, and this is all what it's always been, I would be thrilled. One thing I will want to mention to you is that the new Reserve Bourbon was retailing for $59. The old Cask Strength version retails around me for $69. So they did take away a little proof, but they also made it a little bit cheaper. So win some, you lose some. I'm almost getting a tea note. There's a herbal, but not herbaceous. It's not green. It's not a flower garden. It's like spices, like allspice, some other baking spices that I can't quite put my fingers on right now, other than the cinnamon. But there's a bunch of different baking spices going on here. As I'm going back to it after tasting it, the rye is showing up a little more. It's a little more present. Honestly, it doesn't drink like 108 proof. It drinks lighter. There's almost no Kentucky hug happening. It's not even snuggle. There's not even a Kentucky snuggle happening. It's just easy to drink. This goes down like water. Let's move to the Cask Strength and see how big of a difference we see. This one's a little darker, a little richer on the nose. There's just a little bit more going on. That tea note that I was mentioning before shows up even more on the nose here. Okay, this is discernibly higher proof. It really it gets you in the back of the throat. You feel it in your chest. The old Cask Strength is much more alcohol forward, which is actually kind of surprising because the difference between these two that I have, is only 2 percentage points. So, we're only talking 4.5 proof. It's 2 percentage points and change, 4.5 proof difference between the two. But it's a bigger difference on your perception, on the palate, on the taste, on the nose. Much bigger. There's more burn. There's more rye burn or rye mouthfeel. Comes across as prickly and and a little burny sometimes. There's definitely a lot more of that going on here. And honestly, flavor-wise, there's not a huge difference. There's not a huge, to me, and for my palate, huge discernible good flavor, positive flavor difference with the old Cask Strength. I mean, they're both wonderful, but this new, whatever they want to call it, that doesn't say on the bottle, it's just the reserve bourbon, is just absolutely a joy to drink. It's not fighting you. It's not harsh in any way. It's just giving you awesome bourbon flavors at a really nice proof point, and it's not fighting you. This one gives you a lot more burn on the nose. A lot more rye is more apparent at the very top. They're both great. They're both great. So, I don't like that they dropped Cask Strength. That's a bummer. I get it. They're being transparent and they're trying to maximize their output. They're trying to, really make it all even and equal across the playing field, where they're not going to have these really great batches and then these batches that aren't as great. You're going to have a nice even playing field where it's a consistent product that they're putting forward. And honestly, it's great. The cherry, going back to it now, the cherry is showing up so much more. And it's vanilla too. It's like a cherry vanilla Coke. Have you ever had one of those where you're at a little malt shop, and they have the cherry vanilla Coke, the really nice one, not the crap you get at the gas station or whatever. A nice cherry Coke with real vanilla added. Wow. I'm a little bit upset with myself because I am actually preferring the new product, the new release, the new label. I'm actually enjoying it more than I'm enjoying the old Cask Strength version. Gotta be real with you, Belle Meade did all right. This was not a mistake. I'm sad to see the old label go, but the new label is fantastic. They're both awesome. So, since we now know that this old label is going away, if you see one, you probably should grab it. You're not going to see it again for much longer. Once their existing stuff out there is gone, it's all going to be this new 108.3 proof. Is what it is. Times is changing. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. So, now that we got that out of the way, I feel like I just had a meal. now I feel like I need a little bit of dessert. This is the Belle Meade Madeira. And I've just been thinking all day about what excuse that I need to come up with to have some of this. And I figured, oh, dang, that stuff is thick. Look at that in the glass. Just, it doesn't swirl nice and flat. It swirls lumpy. Oh, man. So I've been thinking about this since I cracked the bottle, had one pour out of it the day I bought it. And it was so sweet and so desserty. I had it with a nice little New York strip steak. Oh, it went together so good. But I've been thinking ever since then about cracking it open again. And I thought, well, hell, if I'm going to do Belle Meade today, I might as well do Belle Meade today. Oh, berries and jam. This is a dessert whiskey. Dessert whiskey. This is not your run-of-the-mill standard bourbon. Obviously, it's finished. Obviously, it's finished in Madeira wine barrels. Oh. Wow. I get dark fruits. I almost get a hint of dates. Like the sweet dates you get from a nice health food store. Not the cheap, yucky ones from a grocery store. The really good ones. The vanilla is hiding there behind all these grapes and fruit. And there's caramel back there. Hiding in the background are molasses that's like just all smeared on the nice fruits. Like, we're talking blueberry, raspberry, even a little strawberry. It's like a fruit medley. Like there was one other time that I described in a different whiskey. I can't remember which one it was, but it's like a fruit tart. It's the topping, all those berries on top with the nice glaze of, in this case, syrup. Or, yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards syrup. My brain keeps going back and forth between syrup, molasses, and caramel. Wow. Cheers. Oh, it's so sweet. It's so sweet, and you get all this really nice sweet oak and cream and just buttery and oily. Makes my mouth water. You know, when you drink a whiskey or take a sip of whiskey and have to swallow 2 or 3 times, you know it's a good whiskey. We're there. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. Have a wonderful day.